What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, Randy, with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you a fantastic video today. We are playing Sea of Conquest, and in today's video, we are talking about the artillery ship. Get excited, here we go. So, this is going to focus on Seasons 1 and 2, because in Season 3, you unlock new artillery ships and abilities. Therefore, it's going to change the build and the focus of how your artillery is set up. So in Seasons 1 and 2, artillery is still a very, very strong combination. And I can tell you, after much testing, that I actually, let me just kill this guy real quick. After much testing, I actually did switch from running drowning and burning at the same time in Season 2. And I got rid of drowning and put on artillery, and I made burning my main damage dealer for this season. And that is a good way to play Season 1 and 2, because burning is going to be one of your top damage builds in Season 1 and 2. Okay, drowning is a close second, but if you're going to pick one and focus on one, the other one should be replaced with artillery, because artillery is so versatile. How does artillery work? Let's talk about it really quick, then we'll talk about the actual build, okay? So artillery works, the best way to talk about artillery is by looking at Sharky's skills. Artillery works by causing your ship to deal bonus damage on basic attack, and then deal additional basic attacks and additional damage when you do a basic attack, okay? The artillery hero ultimate abilities, not all of them deal a lot of damage. For example, Sharky's ability does a little bit of damage. It's really pretty low. When you compare to Tanaka, who's somewhere, or Griffin, who's somewhere up in the 13 to 1500% damage range. Adeline, right? Lester is way up there in the 1000+ range. Sharky's only dealing a little bit over 600% damage at level 70. But what happens from Sharky is he generates, through his other abilities, a bunch of bonus attacks for your ship. So when he does his skill, he can generate bonus attacks. When your ship attacks somebody, he can generate an additional bonus attack every 6 seconds. And when the ship does do a basic attack, he does additional damage. Okay, Key Lanting is the same. She also does a little bit of damage with her ultimate, not anything to be, it's not super great. But what she does do is she has multiple abilities that will generate a pursuit attack, which is a basic attack for your ship that does bonus damage, okay? She has all kinds of different abilities that generate basic attacks. Ophelia, same thing. And I realized I was just going to talk about how the build works, and I moved right into talking about all the heroes, okay? Ophelia also is going to generate a ton of basic attacks. Her ultimate is going to deal a little bit of damage. It's a little bit higher than Sharky's damage. But what it's going to do is make the targets take bonus artillery damage for 5 seconds, and it's going to create a basic attack from every ship in your fleet. Whenever Ophelia does an ultimate, every ship in your fleet hits a basic attack. So she's super powerful, okay? And that's how the artillery build works. Oh, am I being attacked? Someone's being attacked. We are currently going to take this port from Ink in 27 minutes, so there's some PvP going on here as I sit at this tower. All right, so if you've enjoyed the video so far, feel free to like and subscribe, okay? Now, if you are going to run artillery, which is great because it gives a lot of basic attacks, and it does give bonuses to your entire fleet, because your entire fleet will generate bonus basic attacks. In Season 1 and 2, there was no dedicated artillery ship. So you are either going to use the Crimson Sentinel, and it is going to be a health bonus with a great armor bonus here and a little bit of damage, okay, a little bit of attack. But really, it has good health bonus, 7%, and it has up to 30% stacking armor buff, okay? Also, you can use the Dragonlance. Dragonlance also is a very defensive ship. It has armor, okay? It has HP, and it has a 30% stacking armor buff as well. The only reason I'm using Crimson Sentinel over Dragonlance, because Dragonlance does have a few % higher armor bonus, is because it has better basic stats, right? The base stats on the Crimson Sentinel are a little bit higher, so I'm using this, okay? But you can use either ship. They're very close in comparison for Seasons 1 and 2 artillery. In Season 3 artillery, you get a brand new ship that is focused on artillery, so this whole build is going to change in Season 3. But since you're going to spend 3 to 4 months of your life in Seasons 1 and 2, let's talk about how to be effective, okay? Okay, we talked about the way artillery works. Now let's talk about the heroes and their substitutes. Ophelia is great. She is going to be your primary captain, okay? But if you don't have Ophelia, you can also use Barnacle. Barnacle you can get with purple conch summoning. Ophelia you can only get with gold conch summoning, so it's going to be twice as expensive if you're going to be spending money. Or twice as difficult to get these conches from events. Ophelia is going to be obviously the best in slot captain, but Barnacle has a lot of things that can be really great as well, because Barnacle does bonus damage when your ship launches a basic attack. This synergizes very, very well with Sharky and Key Lanting's ability to generate bonus basic attacks on your ship. It will enormously enhance Barnacle's damage output, okay? So Barnacle is a substitute captain if you don't have Ophelia. For the first mate, okay, the best in slot and really the only option you even want is Sharky. If you don't have Sharky at least 3 stars, you're really missing out because you're missing his ability to generate additional basic attacks every 6 seconds with the ship, okay? So I would recommend that you grind out the guild respect in Season 1 to get a Sharky summon so you can get Sharky up to 3 stars at least. And obviously at 4 stars, his damage goes up another 20-30%. So a 4-star Sharky is ideal. There is no substitute, okay? You could put in any other hero you want into the first mate category, but if you don't have Sharky, you might as well run a different build. Artillery is great, and Sharky is kind of pivotal for the build, okay? For the last position we're going to talk about here, this is the gunner position. There is actually a purple option in Seasons 1 and 2 that is actually pretty decent. Okay, Oscar is the purple option here. He does, again, he does not deal any damage with his basic attack, but he gives a lot of bonuses to the basic attack and artillery damage for your ship. But he will generate damage when you launch a basic attack. Every 5 seconds, he'll generate actually pretty nice damage. So he's actually a pretty decent substitute for Key Lanting. If you don't have Key Lanting at least 4-star, and you have, let's just say you have Oscar at 6-star, and maybe Key Lanting at 2-star, you might want to use Oscar instead of Key Lanting, because Oscar is going to generate a ton of damage, both when you do a basic attack and when you receive a basic attack. So he's going to be really great for this build. Obviously, Key Lanting is going to be the best in slot in Season 1 and 2, but if you don't have her, Oscar is a good substitute, okay? And she does, like I said, have decent damage and has 2 abilities that both are geared towards generating more basic attacks with artillery damage bonuses, okay? So those are the heroes, those are the ships. Let's talk about the gear really, really quick, okay? In Season 1, you're probably going to use Blade of Freedom gear. In Season 2, Queen of Revenge is one of the only sets that are actually worth using over the Blade of Freedom or Sovereign set. Okay, Queen of Revenge is really, really great because it does give you 8% bonus artillery damage to start, and then when you're receiving damage, it can stack up to an additional 10% for a total of 18% artillery damage, and then 10% damage reduction for your ship. Now, the reason why I like this set in Seasons 1 and 2, and the reasons why I won't use this set in Season 3, are because in Season 3, I'm going to really focus on being a damage dealer. But in Seasons 1 and 2, I'm focusing on being a bait ship. So that means I'm going to take more damage, and that damage reduction is going to be really, really nice, okay? I'm going to take more damage with this ship, and I'm going to really abuse the fact that both Crimson Sentinel and the Black Raven have this armor debuff when your health drops. So I'm going to be using armor gear on him, you know, like I'm using an armor sail right now. So you want to really focus on the armor gear for this ship. You could, in theory, run Sovereign set. There's no reason why you couldn't, or Yamato. They're both going to be solid substitutes as well for Season 1 Sovereign set or Blade set. Really, it's your decision, okay? But what you want to do, the reason I'm not using Sovereign set is because I don't want my HP to be too high, okay? I would like this ship to have the lowest HP in my fleet. You can see here I have just over 3 million HP for this ship. If I go to my other ships, my Stormbringer has 3.5. My strategy ship, my Fearless Princess, has 3.5. My Cutthroat Warhammer has 3.3. Okay, I would like this Crimson Sentinel to be the lowest HP ship in my fleet for Seasons 1 and 2. That way, the enemy ships will target this ship with the Cutthroat damage, and it'll really get to effectively use the armor bonus. I actually don't want this ship to be at full health. I would love for this ship to be at 60-70% health for the entire fight, because guess what? That means I have a superb armor bonus, I'm dramatically reducing the damage I take, and I'm helping the rest of my fleet live much longer, okay? Without the bait ship version, when I was running a drowning build instead of this, I was still able to kill people quickly, but I was not keeping myself alive long enough to be as effective as I want in big fights, okay? This bait ship system I love, okay? Other gear choices, like I said, you want armor on the sails, you want basic attack over here, okay, critical rate over there, and you want damage on the helm ideally, okay? So that is the build for the Crimson Sentinel Artillery build in Seasons 1 and 2. If you folks have enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I love you guys long time. Randy, out.